A thumb hovers over post, then pauses. You zoom the image, rewrite the sentence, delete it, and feel that tiny exhale of relief only silence gives. In a world where speaking is currency, not speaking feels suspicious, yet your nervous system calls it safety. What if your quiet isn't laziness, but a boundary? What if not posting is how you keep your story from getting misread, clipped, or scored? Before you judge your silence, ask, is it hiding or is it care? And if you chose it on purpose, could it become a kinder way to be online? Less performance, more truth, more room to breathe. Put the phone face down for 10 seconds. Think of the online world as a stage and a window. On the stage, speaking equals performing, every line judged for timing, tone, and status. At the window, you're allowed to observe without stepping into the lights. Many quiet users aren't antisocial, they're choosing presence over performance, protecting clarity and energy. Here's the first simple idea: performance pressure. Posting turns a private thought into a public artifact that can be misunderstood, replayed, and scored. If your nervous system already runs hot, perfectionism, past criticism, or work visibility, silence lowers the arousal. Less noise, more control. The second simple idea: boundary intelligence. Not posting can be an active boundary, like closing the door to think. You're not hiding from people, you're hiding your draft from an algorithm that rewards speed over nuance. You still connect, just in smaller circles, longer formats, or honest pauses. A real moment. You write a birthday post for a friend. 10 edits later, it feels wrong. Too sentimental, too late, too public. You delete it and instead send them a voice note. The friendship warms, no metrics needed. You didn't fail at sharing. You matched the channel to the intimacy. Open your notes app and write one honest sentence you won't post today. When you don't post, your nervous system gets something it rarely gets online, a predictable outcome. Why does that matter? Because posting kicks off a chain you can't control. Interpretations, replies, silence that feels like rejection. Your body learns that non-posting equals fewer surprises, which equals safety. Safety equals relief. Relief teaches you to repeat the behavior. Second chain, identity load. Every post feels like a miniature self-portrait hung in a loud hallway. You sense the permanence, the screenshot risk, the way an off day could become your brand. So your mind chooses conservation. Protect the core by exposing less. Exposing less keeps coherence intact. Coherence feels like dignity. Here's the paradox: the more you fear being misread, the more your silence invites others to write your story. You avoid visibility to prevent distortion, but invisibility is its own distortion. People fill blanks with guesses. The task isn't to talk constantly, it's to decide what deserves your voice and then give it cleanly. Mini example. You draft a nuanced take on a trending topic. Midway, you realize the format forces false speed. You pivot. Long email to 3 friends, a book note to yourself, no public post. The conversation becomes deeper, warmer, and nobody farms it for outrage. Quick check-in. When you think about posting right now, do you feel a lift in the chest or a slight flinch in the throat? If it's a flinch, your body is voting for a slower channel or a smaller room. Name one thing your silence is protecting today, then decide if it still needs guarding. Put one sentence you care about into a private note, not a post. You notice your drafts folder is crowded with half-thoughts, captions rewritten 5 times, then saved for later that never comes. After the rare moment you do post, your body goes into surveillance mode, checking, refreshing, rereading comments as if scanning a weather radar for storms. You routinely delete messages seconds before sending. The relief is immediate, like stepping back from a cliff. You prefer small rooms, voice notes to 1 friend, a group chat of 3, long emails no algorithm touches. You over-edit ordinary updates, sanding off personality until the message could belong to anyone, then decide it isn't worth sharing. You wait until a topic is no longer hot, telling yourself you're being thoughtful, but really you're avoiding the speed trap of being misread. When a camera opens, your mind calculates angles, subtext, future screenshots, and you choose absence over the risk of being turned into a take. Circle the two that feel most true and keep them visible for the week. You often assume silence equals failure. The truth is, silence can be an intentional boundary. Replace "I am failing" with "I am choosing the right room for this." You often wait for the perfect take. The truth is, clarity grows in motion. Replace perfection with "good enough" to start a small conversation. You often measure worth by metrics. The truth is, numbers track reach, not meaning. Replace refresh cycles with one real check-in. You often hide because of one past misread. The truth is, contexts change. Replace blanket avoidance with selective, low-risk sharing. You often speak only when certain. The truth is, curiosity invites kinder replies. Replace certainty with honest framing. "I'm still thinking this through." Place one hand on your chest and say, "I can choose my rooms on purpose." Here's a simple way forward. Step 1. Stabilize your nervous system before visibility. Set a 3-minute timer, breathe slowly, and name your intention. Write one sentence for a single person, not the crowd. Pick a smaller channel to test: DM, private note, or email. Limit checking to 2 windows, 1 hour and 24 hours. Step 2. Practice low-pressure sharing. Use draft days where you write 3 tiny posts you won't publish. Turn one into a voice note for a friend. Share one neutral observation without opinion. Ask one genuine question in a small community. Set a 10-minute cap, then step away. Step 3. Define your public lanes. Choose 2 topics you'll speak on, 2 you won't. Write a 1-line bio that names your lane. Decide your cadence, weekly, bi-weekly, or only when it's useful. Pre-write 3 evergreen notes you can post anytime. Try these tiny actions this week. Set a 5-minute write, don't edit timer. Share one thought only with a friend. Turn off notifications for 24 hours. Post one sentence that needs no defense. Schedule 2 check-in times, then stop refreshing. Imagine your online life as a house with 2 porches. One porch faces the street, bright, loud, every passerby ready with an opinion. The other overlooks a quiet yard where friends sit close and listen. You've been standing at the threshold, hand on the doorknob, sensing the air on both sides. What if wisdom is choosing which porch suits the conversation, not proving you can shout across the road? Choose tonight's porch before you write a word. Loop once more, gently. When a topic stings, picture a glass of water set between you and it. The water softens edges, slows heat, and lets you see shape instead of glare. You're not avoiding. You're adding distance, so truth can come into focus at a human speed. The post you don't make today might become a clearer letter tomorrow. Place one sentence behind a 24-hour pause. Settle now for a short practice. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Soften your jaw. If it helps, close your eyes. We'll do one 4-7-8 breath together. Inhale through your nose for 4. Hold for 7. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 8. Let the out-breath be longer than you think you need. Again, easy breath in, gentle hold, slow release. Notice how your chest and belly calibrate without performance, how relief arrives with no audience at all. Feel the weight of your phone in your pocket or on the table. Imagine it as a small bell of choice, not a leash. In your mind, write a single true line you could say without defense. Picture handing that line to one trusted person. See their face soften. Let the nervous system memorize that softness as the reference state. Scan your body. Forehead, eyes, tongue, on the roof of the mouth, throat, collarbones, ribs, belly, hips, knees, ankles, the soles of your feet. Wherever you find tension, give it a quiet invitation to unclench by 10%. Ask yourself, what is the smallest room I can speak from that still honors this thought? If an answer arises, nod once. Repeat after me, softly, like a promise you're allowed to keep. I can choose the room, I can choose the pace, I can choose the weight of my words. I don't need to perform to tell the truth. I can rest before I speak. If this steadies you, whisper permission just for yourself. Before we close, gather 3 short lines and let them sit in your pocket. I can be quiet on purpose. I will speak where care is possible. I won't trade my nervous system for metrics. Write those 3 lines at the top of your notes tonight. When you're ready to re-enter, share 1 sentence that needs no defense and stop there. If you remain silent today, let it be because you chose a smaller room, not because fear chose for you. Either way, you are not behind. You're simply aligning your voice with your values. Thank you for spending this time with yourself. If this helped, leave the word permission so others can find it. Subscribe to keep this rhythm, and when you're ready, the next video explores how to keep your inner pace when the feed speeds up. You are responsible for your own choices. Nothing here is medical or psychological advice. This is gentle education and reflection offered for your consideration.